Go ahead and talk.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me at all? I hear nothing coming through my headset.
It says connected.
Okay.
Well,
I uh,
I turned
I
the
I
mic on.
hear myself speaking in my ears, but I don't hear anything else.
I'm going to put you on speaker on the cell phone. I'm going to put my headsets on. Hang on. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything through. My mic buttons are on.
Hello, hello.
There we go.
Testing.
Go again, TJ.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now.
See, and I don't hear anything except this.
Okay, for some reason I can hear you, but the judge is not hearing you. You want to keep talking there, TJ?
Hello.
You're not
Nothing.
hearing anything.
Are you hearing him through this, or are you hearing him in your?
I'm
Okay.
hearing him up here.
Okay, I can hear him speaking there, but nothing in my ears. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, I just disconnected my phone, so
Hello.
I can hear the judge, and he's not hearing you, though.
Yeah, and I'm not hearing you either.
Yeah, the judge says he's not hearing me either.
I hear myself. It's funny, I can hear my own voice in my ear.
Phone, we've got tech relief, we've got queue hold. On-off is not on. Hello?
Hello, I can still hear you.
Yes, now I can
All
hear
right,
both of
yep,
you.
that's what it needed.
Okay, good.
So,
All right, you should be good. Now, what Tiff's going to do, we'll keep the line open, and then when you guys are ready to go, tell her, and then just go ahead and launch into your, your pregame stuff.
And
And as soon
TJ,
as
just
it
so you
starts
know,
on
we
the
must be live already because I've got people texting me saying we can hear you now.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, it's because you're
on the,
yeah,
yeah, everything we're saying is going over the stream.
Okay.
right, correct.
So we apologize to everybody as we work out more technical difficulties. Poor TJ has Judge and I here, and we both are not.
We're technically challenged.
Yeah.
I've got Elma Romero. Hello, Elma. I've got Elma sending me messages going, we hear you on our TV, sir.
Okay. All right, so we're going to turn our mic off here. We're everything else, and TJ, I will call you back on the phone.
Okay, no, yeah, that's
on my
fine.
cell phone. Yep. All right.
Okay, good, thanks.
30. Ten. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Eunice football. As it's Steve Mueller here with Jimmy Jones, as we're going to be broadcasting the Eunice Cardinals versus the Hagerman Bobcats. And Jimmy, you want to talk a little bit about some of the skill players for Eunice today?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a number of returners from last year. I mean, we lost some very important kids. Great senior class that had one heck of a run when they were here in high school, but we've got a lot of young men that are back. Of course, we start with Hayden Dean. The senior is already signed to play next year at Clark University in Iowa. A great young man. I believe last year he set some sort of record in one game with 5 touchdowns in a game. I mean, he returns. Young man's got a lot of heart. He's going to play at the quarterback position. But he's also going to rotate back and forth in at the wide receiver position, and then Conager Pierce is our other quarterback. 200-pound junior that's got a lot of talent as well. Those two are going to rotate in and out. Of course, we've got Micah Tippett returning. He is a speedster. He's going to return in the backfield. Also a safety on the defensive end. We've got a number of other young men that are returning. T.J. Martinez, a running back and a middle linebacker that's tough as nails. I look for him to do big things this year. There's just a number of great young men here that are returning. Some of the all-district kids from last year: Hayden Dean, George Ortega, Micah Tippett, Kason Pearson, Jorge Ontiveros, Sammy Monsalve, Antonio Granados, Marcus Tricero, and T.J. Martinez. Antonio Granados, Ovi Ontiveros, Micah Tippett, those young men all won either All-State or All-District awards last year. And, of course, Coach Greg Jackson, the District Coach of the Year last year. All of those folks are back with us.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off and let you know that as far as downs and things like that, we'll be able to get to you quickly, but we're playing with winter grass out here, so it's really hard to see the lines. So we're going to have to kind of see what they have on the scoreboard as for where the ball is to give you progress on plays. We'll call them out as best we can, but it's going to be very difficult to see the lines and tell you what the runs and progresses are. So apologize for that, but when you're playing football in March, you deal with some different things.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Also, we don't have the ideal setup here. Our table is setting down probably about 6-8 foot off the ground, and so our view point here is not going to be real great as far as being able to see and call out some things. We've also got our camera feed that folks can watch the actual video live through the HobbsAmerica.com site. It's also on the Eunice YouTube page, and we're going to do our best. We're going to be the cameramen and the announcers, so we're going to do our best to move that as best we can. A few other things that I wanted to mention. This Hagerman team last year was 7-4. They lost 12 seniors, and last year lost to Eunice 70-26. However, Tavion Mitchell, Ira Martinez, Felix Gonzalez, Noah Mendoza, Justin Couch, Jesus Ruiz, Cooper Warren, and Everett Montoya. Those were the seniors that we lost last year, and a great senior class. And so that's about, like I said, 3/4 of your starting offense from last year that is no longer with us.
All right, we're going to send it back to the studio for about 30 seconds for the national anthem.
Clear. 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, we're back to here. We just went through the national anthem. We're getting ready for kickoff, and Hagerman won the coin toss but elected to defer. So Eunice will get the ball first, and they're going to be going from the north to the south to start this half off. And, you know, they didn't switch sides on volleyball. Are we going to? We'll have to see. Are they even going to do switching sides and things like that for football like they normally do? I know.
Row for
the with 1 and 2 ranked players team play they're going to be stopped. Well, they may be stopped. The way we see the market is it actually may be stopped for a loss there, as he didn't have a good handle on it.
Across the right side of the field and down the sideline for a large pickup, and then it looked like a horse collar tackle on the Bobcats there at the end.
It does look like we got a flag there.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see some yardage tacked on the end for that horse collar tackle on the Bobcats.
I would say so. That looks to be about the 15. He's down to the 15-yard line, or so if that's the case, then they give him half the distance.
Yeah. Well, we've got a little break here. I'd like to give a shout-out to our coaches, Greg Jackson, the head coach, Bobby Reed, our defensive coordinator, Mason McBee, an assistant. And we've also got Gary Frazier and Tyler Almaguer that are our assistants and junior high coaches this year. Thank you guys for what you do for these young men here in the Eunice Cardinals.
Oh, the penalty is going to go against the Cardinals. So they're bringing the ball back, and so there must have been some sort of block in the back or something like that on that run, because we saw the flag and thought it was going to go against the Bobcats.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain they were calling a horse collar down here, but maybe they called like an offsetting penalty.
Yeah, I mean, that's because it looks like we're going to play the down over.
Yeah, and the referee never has, at least I haven't seen them signal anything, so I'm assuming they must have called offsetting penalties right there.
Yeah, third down, it's still 3rd and 3.
Him behind the first down marker, and he just drove him right on past it.
Yeah, so he picks up 5 yards, so now it is first down, first.
The first goal for the Bobcats.
And so that is that first turnover completion.
Yes.
Bad for the fumbling. So actually, he fumbled, like I said, right about the 2-3 yard line. So that looks like he picked up and on the play. So that gives them a little breathing room as they.
Right. Yeah, our defenders aren't the largest back there in the defense secondary.
Oh
my
geez,
goodness.
And there's a little over the middle, and boy, they're just going away. That's number 20, Salazar, and boy, that thing just flicked right over the middle, just over the heads of all the defenders, and he picks that thing up and runs it back and turns it to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like our safety came up to make a play on the ball, and the young man from Hagerman went up just a little bit higher, picked it out of the air, and then was off to the races. Fortunately for us, we had some speed to run him down.
Yeah, it looks like he picked up 35 yards on that play, as it's going to be first down at the Cardinals 40.
Yeah. Yeah, Eunice is going to have to make some adjustments for that same little pass play. It seems to hurt us.
Yeah, no, they hand it off up the middle, and he's going to bring it down to about the 40. Well, no, it's going to be inside the 40, so it's going to be down to about the 35-yard line of the Cardinals. So second and about 4.
Yeah, ran that little cutback counter trap there across the middle. Ovi Ontiveros was able to wrap his feet up, but he still was able to pick up, looks like about 6 yards.
Yep. So second and 4 from the 35-yard line of the Cardinals for the Bobcats, and the Cardinals need a stop here.
Yeah, it's seems like our defense is kind of back on their heels here at this point.
So he's under center again, and he's going to keep the ball. He runs up the center there, and looks like he's going to pick up about 5 yards on that play and bring that ball down to the 30-yard line.
The tackle was made that time by Marcus Trucero, number 50, the junior. He's a returner from last year that's a really good defensive player, but not before that young man picked up about 5 or 6 yards, and so it's going to be first and 10 for the Bobcats here in Eunice territory.
On the Cardinals' 30-yard line.
Okay.
So 6-0 Cardinals, and we got the Bobcats driving here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, we need a stop here or a turnover.
And the man in motion from the right. And
the ball's on the ground, and it looks like the Cardinals have it.
Yes, there was a mishandoff there on the snap, and the Cardinals come away with that ball. So there's a fumble there. So that's the second turnover. We just had the Cardinals turn it over deep in their own territory on the prior possession, and now Hagerman, as they're driving.
Yeah, it looked like number 42, Sammy Monsalve, was able to jump in there and pick up that fumble. So a fumble recovery. We were just saying we needed a stop or a turnover. And Caballero come up and
need another stop here as they lead just 12-0 with 7:45 left here in the first half.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to spot it on about the 39-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Bobcats.
So 24-yard.
Yep.
And we'll see what they're going to do here. They've had a lot of success with the passing game, so we'll see if they continue with that. They have a height advantage on our defenders.
Yeah, especially on that other side over there.
Now he hands it up the middle, and a draw play, and it goes again, and that he's going to pick up 11, 12, 13. Looks like he's going to pick up 13 yards and a first down on that play up the center there.
Yeah, Caballero and Tippett in on that tackle for the Cardinals. It's that little cutback trap that they've run several times today.
Yeah, they're opening a hole on the right side of the Cardinals line. And we're getting ready here. He dropped back. Here's a pitch out to the right and go up. And this time he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And it looks like he's going to lose 1 yard, maybe 2 yards on that play. Great stop in the backfield.
Yeah, Vance Hemingston stood him up, and then T.J. Martinez come in and gave him a little love tap to send him to the ground. It's going to make it. Starting to pick up again. It was blowing when we got here for sure.
Yep. It's the dynamics of the game.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're working from the right hash here as the Bobcats are heading north to south. And he's going to get he's trying to get back to the backfield, and he does. So they flush him from the pocket, and then that was number
Ovi Ontiveros with the sack in the backfield.
And they drop him clear back to their own 45-yard line, so that's going to be another loss of about 7 on the play, and that should make
I'll probably get some tacos when I get home because his mom will be.
I was going to say it's about, so we're 17 over their own 45-yard line. So 17 yards to go for a first down for the Bobcats.
Yeah, they're looking out toward to that wide side.
Oh, and there's a miscommunication there, obviously, for the quarterback for the Bobcats, because number 25 is stopped and turned, so one of them went the wrong direction on that because the ball was thrown behind him, and he's looking out in front of him. So that misconnection caused a loss of downs.
Yeah, it looked like Roberto Dela Cruz was going to run deep, and the quarterback threw it short to him, and somehow they had their communication crossed there. So it's a good deal for the Eunice Cardinals. It brings up fourth and about probably 18, 17 here.
So it looks like they are definitely going to punt as they're playing from their own 46-yard line. Cardinals got to be careful. We don't see anything sneaky, because I know the Cardinals had a few trick plays like this from last year.
Absolutely, and they've got the wind in their face here, so I would almost be surprised if he punts it. But,
and we got delay a game.
Yep, delay a game on the Bobcats, so we'll scoot them back a little more. Now I think they'll definitely punt it.
Yeah, now it's going to be 4th and 20 and 22.
Absolutely.
Or 22, 23-yard lines, 4th down. So that would be a real trick play to try that big for 20-plus yards.
Yeah.
All right, he's going to kick. And a little line drive, and that ball is going to go.
Dean's going to pick it up.
Dean's going to pick it up, and he picks it up at the 20. He's right down the sidelines, and it looks like he gets knocked out about the 30-yard line, so that's going to be somewhere around or an 8 or 9 yard return on the punt. That was just a low line drive.
Yeah, Dean picked it up, and I was kind of glad he did, because I think that ball would have kept on skipping down deep into our territory, so he picked it up and was able to pick up some yardage out of it. While we're talking about Dean, once again, a shout-out to Steve Dean, Chad Dean, Ryan Dean, Heath Dean, Willie Dean, and I'll even give a shout-out to Sally Dean. So we love our Deans down there in Eunice, and they've been on this Cardinal football field for many, many years.
All right, so it's going to be first down from about their own 30-yard line for the Cardinals. And looks like
Pierce.
Pierce back in the backfield again, and he throws it out to the right, and that ball is definitely knocked away as the ball goes backwards. And so they got in his face there, and it was obviously going to be a little flare off to the left-hand side.
Yeah. Last year, the offensive line that we had last year, almost every single one of those guys are gone. And so this is a new group. It's going to take them a little getting used to with the schemes and whatnot. So we'll see how it works out here early in the season.
All right, so Pierce is lone man in the backfield there. As we got 3 out to the left and 1 to the right. He's going back. He's going to be flushed. Oh, and he is pulled down for a huge loss. It looks like he is going to lose about 17 on that play.
Yeah, the defense just came right up through the middle, and
7 on that play.
Yeah, Pierce had no chance. Before he could even cock his arm back, he had already got knocked to the ground.
Yeah, he got flushed out of it. He started to pull the ball down to run, and they picked him up from behind.
Absolutely.
So third and about 17 for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Now he's holding out to the right. His pass play there.
Oh!
And the ball goes off the hands of one of the Cardinal receivers, and so it's going to bring up 4th down, and we're going to see a punt here from the Cardinals.
Yeah, Pierce threw a rocket out there to Cason Pearson on the sideline, and Cason just couldn't hang on to it. It deflected off his hands and out of bounds. So it's going to be 4th and about 17 yards here, so I figure we'll see a punt.
Well, this will be the first 3 and out that we've had for the Cardinals today.
Yep, that is true.
In fact, I think that was the first 3 and out for them, too, on their prior possession, on the Bobcats.
All right. Looks like, is that number 10? Zeke Benton back to punt?
It does look like it to me. And, boy, we got something there. Benton drops the ball.
Oh, my goodness.
So a bad snap. And, unfortunately, he was not blocked at all. So that's going to be a loss of downs. And on the snap, the Bobcats are going to get the ball, looks like right at the 10-yard line of the Cardinals. So it was a bad snap, and one of the players for the Bobcats went right in untouched.
Yeah, he came straight through the middle. The ball was snapped into the ground. He was able to pick it up, but at that point the defense was swarming on him, and so it's a huge loss for the Cardinals, and it's going to bring up 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line for the Bobcats.
Yep. So turnover and downs, and unfortunately turnover and downs with a huge loss. All right, here we go. He's looking out to that. He's the quarterback. He's rolling out. A flag. Well, it looks like he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage there, but we'll see what the flag was for.
Ovi Ontiveros and 42, Sammy Monsalve, had him in the backfield, and neither one of them could bring him down, and he was able to break forward and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And we'll see what the flag is for here.
Looks like an encroachment on the defense.
Well, that's what we don't need to do is give him more yardage. If that's what it is, it's going to be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, wait a minute. Now he's turning around and looking the other way.
He pointed at our
All right,
side.
now he marks it off. So now it's going to be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. So we didn't need, when you're already that deep, we did not need a penalty.
Yeah, we're going to have to get it together down here on this end.
4:21 left here in the first half. The Cardinals.
Looked like their defensive, the center part of their defensive line was in the backfield about the same time the ball was that time.
Well, and I mean, 2nd down with no gain there, but they had a defender running on from the sidelines when the ball was snapped.
Right. You got an official.
Yeah, I mean, this number 64 is running onto the field at the same time the ball's being snapped. They go back deep. Here's the ball downfield, and he overthrows him. Boy, he had Dean had his defender beat by 3 yards.
There's a flag in the backfield too.
Are we going to get a roughing?
Yes. Got a roughing the passer, so that'll be 15 yards.
And Dean, boy, it's too bad that he had him overthrown because Dean had his defender beat by a good 3 yards. And to get that one in style, Dean goes in for 6.
Yeah, that's one of those throw and catch timing issues right there. I mean, it was a nice throw, just a little long. Dean had his guy beat. But we'll get, looks like 15 yards out of this deal on a 1st down from about the 42-yard line. And we got 3 minutes and 5 seconds left here in this 2nd quarter, so we need to drive down and get a score.
All right, 1st down from the 43-yard line of the Bobcats. Quick pass out to the right, and this ball is caught by Dean, and that is going to be down at about the 33-yard line. So that's about a 8-yard pickup for Dean on that pass.
Yeah, that right there may be our calling card this year. A lot of those short, quick passes out there to our receivers and just pick up 5, 6 at a time.
Dean picks up 7 on that one. So from the 34-yard line of the Bobcats, 1st down. And, it's a hand around there, and Dean, he stops his motion and comes back over the middle there, and he is able to pick up, looks like 6 yards on that play, and brings it inside the 30-yard line down to about the 27 of the Bobcats.
Yeah, I picked up a 1st down right there. Looks like we're going to have a timeout. Eunice here with 2:19 left in the 2nd quarter in the 1st half. Bobcats 7, Eunice Cardinals 12.
And we're going to send it back to the studio for 30 seconds.
Clear. Ten.
The center grass, it's a little different. Some pockets and everything.
Yeah, this is typically the kind of grass you start to see at the end of a football season, and we're seeing it right here on the first game of the year.
All right, 2nd down from the 28-yard line, and boy, they had that one there with the 3 out. So now they got 3 left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield here, and they're going to hand it off up the middle, and he bounces outside. He picks it up, and he's going to bring it down to about the 25-yard line, and that's going to be a pickup of about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, that's Micah Tippett again there. He took that handoff, started straight up the middle, bounced it out to the left, and had one man to beat, and it could have been some real big yardage. So it'll make it third, about 7.
Yep. 1:49 left here in the half. All right. Cardinals need to do something. They're eating clock here. Oh, nice. And then a little tip off to the right, and it looks like we're going to be able to walk in untouched there for the touchdown. And that was Zeke Benton is here. He's gotten some trouble there. He found himself some room is out there, and just a little light touch pass off to the right-hand side, and there was nobody in front of Benton, and Benton goes in for the touchdown. So 1:31 left here in the first half, and the Cardinals score again.
Yeah, Pierce rolled out to the right, had some heat coming at him from that defensive line, and then found Bennett running across the middle. And so that was Benton. That was great play for his second touchdown of the day with 1:31 remaining in the half. Eunice now up 18-7 as it looks like we're going to.
As Pierce is caught in the backfield, turns that ball over, but it doesn't matter. And so we're going to have 1:31 left in the half here with the Cardinals now leading 18-7. We're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute.
Clear.
If I was Eunice, I'd just pooch it out there because that kid has almost broke a couple, and so the young man from Hagerman's almost broke a couple of runs, and so I think that was the right thing to do, and it worked out really good for the Eunice Cardinals.
Yep. All right, so first down from the 25-yard line. So they've got 75 yards to go and 1:25 left. They do have all 3 of their timeouts, and here again they got the same thing as they're getting a man on the field. After the, and it looks like they're going to get another, they get a timeout.
Yeah, they were getting real close to that delay of game. The white hat already had his hands in the air for a few counts, and the coach made the right call there by calling timeout and saving another penalty.
Boy, I mean, the Bobcats have had a real time getting personnel on the field. This is kind of unusual for them. I heard Coach Jackson in an interview earlier this past week with someone, and during that interview he said that he thought that with all the delays that we've had in football this year, that early on in the season it was going to be the battle of ugliness, or I forget exactly his term, but who could have the least amount of mistakes and ugliness here early in the season would end up winning these ball games. And so I think we've definitely seen that on both sides here today. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at this, and this is now he's lining up now, so this is the right offensive guard is they're waiting to snap the ball, and the right offensive guard is just getting on the field. You think you'd miss somebody like that? Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'm not sure. The coach must have finally called the timeout, not the quarterback.
Yeah, the coach made that call right over here on the sideline.
All right, so here's the pass out to the right, and it throws behind him and into the ground, and so the pass attempt goes for nothing. The only good thing about that is it didn't eat up much clock.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good. I guess a good play for the Cardinals with him throwing it right into the ground, and so that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Bobcats. 1:22 here remaining in the first half.
Well, we just don't want to see the Cardinals keep them doing what they have been on defense in that, because like the old saying goes, the only thing that prevent defense does is prevent you from winning. And same thing, so mark the third, so that's going to pick up about 5 on that.
Yeah, we had number 14 Sean Stinson and number 50 Marcus Tessero came up to make that stop, and it looks like the Bobcats are going to call a timeout here with 1:14 remaining in the first half.
Well, they didn't have much choice there because he didn't get the first down, and so that was going to eat up a lot of clock for them.
Yeah, it makes it tough. While we've got a minute, one of the things that I was going to do is I got to thinking about on our drive over here. We've got a lot of young men that are off playing college sports from the last couple of years' teams. You've got Dean that'll be going next year. You've got Cameron Santa Cruz playing at Eastern New Mexico University. Avante Stevens playing at Texas Wesleyan. Mason Caperton's playing Division I baseball at New Mexico State University. And Garrett Bush playing baseball at Wayland Baptist. And so, we've lost some very strong kids the last couple years. And like I said, some of these young men here, and now's their chance. So they're going to have to.
Thirty. Ten. $30. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Bobcat Stadium as we got the results here from the first half, and these are unofficial. So for the Bobcats, they are 5 of 9 passing for 65 yards. They have 43 yards rushing on and 3 scores, and I've seen the yard seems a lot, but we have to remember that they turned the ball over on the Bobcats 1 yard line there in the second half. So they ran up a lot of yards, but the score didn't. And then the real thing they've had a problem with has been the extra points. So they, on the first attempt, the kick went wide to the left, and they've gone for 2 on the last 2 scores and have not been able to convert. So 18-17. What are your thoughts on the first half? What do the Cardinals need to do differently?
Watching that first half, I definitely felt like, that we didn't play for sure as well as we would have liked to. But like you said, when you think about it, we turned the ball over once inside the 2 yard line. and then we turned the ball over on a botched snap on a punt inside the 10-yard line. So twice we handed them the ball inside the 10-yard line, and they were able to come away with one score out of those two starts from inside the 10. So, and then even on some of their others, on our kickoffs, they were able to return the ball, great returns and have great field position. So they've had the ball several times, great field position, and unfortunately for the Cardinals, they've only been able to punch it in the end zone once.
So the Cardinals got to get some better protection for the quarterback. We've seen some problems there with the line not giving him protection on either one of the quarterbacks, and so we got to see some better protection there. And for the defense, the defense has gotten helped by some bad passes, but the defense has gotten, especially in the second quarter, had quite a few penetrations and pressures on the quarterback. So they did get a little better pressure on the quarterback in the second quarter.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of this game. The majority of the offensive line and the majority of our offensive players from last year are gone. And so it's a brand new offensive group. Most of that offensive line was spent most of the time watching last year or playing in the JV games. And so it's a whole new group up there in front playing that offensive line. The defensive side is just the opposite. The majority of that defense is back, with the exception of a couple of standout defensive players. That defense is most of the same kids. So our defense has looked a little more solid than our offense so far this game.
Well, I think one of the things we're going to have to look at, and what the Bobcats are going to have to be worried about this second half, is Pierce now has had 3 times where, when he got the time to throw, where our receivers had beat their defenders big. We got one big catch there by
Dean.
Dean.
Or no, Pearson.
By Pearson. Got
Jason
the one,
Pearson.
27 yards. Dean was well free, and another one was overthrown. And then we had another one down here where Dean tripped.
Yep. Yes.
So for the Bobcats, they've got to be careful, because here he can throw that ball downfield, and when he gets the time, our receivers are on their defenders. They may have a height advantage, but we certainly seem to have the speed.
I think that Coach Greg Jackson had in an interview a week or two ago that was going to be our strong point this year, was the speed of this team, and we've been able to get open on some of those plays. The timing has just not quite been there yet. It's the first game of the season. Typically they've had a month plus of practicing, trying to get ready for a game. In this particular situation, I think it was just 2 weeks ago that they were told, hey, you can start practicing and get ready to play. So we're seeing some of that, and hopefully we can get that worked out as we move forward in this second half and into the rest of the season.
Yep, so we've got 4 minutes here left to start. We're going to send it back to the studio for 2 minutes as you're listening to Cardinals football on Cool 95.7.
You're clear. One minute. $30. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Bobcat Stadium as the Eunice Cardinals are on the road today taking on the Hagerman Bobcats, and it is 18-7 in favor of the Cardinals, and quite honestly, the score doesn't really reflect it, but it was really all Cardinals as they 225 yards in the first half. They turned the ball over on the 1 yard line of the Bobcats as they're marching in for another score, and a nice pass play. So they give it up there after marching down 60-some yards, and then they've had a problem with the extra points. But otherwise, we've got 225 yards to 98 yards, and if they can give Pierce some protection, the Hobbs receivers have definitely got the speed over the defenders of the Bobcats.
Yeah, those Eunice Cardinal receivers have been able to get behind the Bobcat defense multiple times. We just haven't been able to connect, and once again, I think that's just going to be a timing issue. To me, as I sit here and watch it, I think that combination of Pierce back in the backfield, taking snaps, and Dean out there at the wide receiver seems to look a lot more like the Cardinal offense we're used to seeing. And so if our offensive line can come together and work on some things that we saw wrong there early in that first half, I think that we'll see that old Cardinal offense that we've seen the last few seasons.
Yep. Well, the one thing that we did see that they've improved on the second quarter over the first was, at least in the second quarter, the Cardinals were able to get some pressure on the quarterback of the Bobcats. And we saw he was able to wiggle out of a few of them, but they had him stopped in the backfield probably 4 or 5 times at least. And they forced some bad snaps and forced him to pick it up off the ground. Now, he did have a couple of pass plays on his own where he was misconnected, but we'll see how it turns out here as we get ready to start the they must have reset that clock because it was down under 2 minutes, and now it's 2:40. The clock is saying we have 2 minutes, 41 seconds before we start the second half.
I noticed that last year, and I asked a couple of times about that because in Eunice, when our Cardinals were playing at home, they would run that clock all the way down to like 1 minute, and we would think they were about to start, and the team wouldn't even be on the field, and the next thing you know, it would be reset, and the kids would be coming out onto the field. So I'm not that must be something new that's just taken place the last couple of years.
Yeah. So, well, we have both teams are getting ready to start the second half here, and the keys for the Cardinals is definitely going to be protection on the quarterback, whether it be Dean in the backfield or Pierce in the backfield. They got to get them some protection, and then for the defense, they've got to keep on getting pressure on the quarterback. So they got to get in. They've got to get into the backfield of the Bobcats. I guess it's kind of a foregone. You get pressure on the quarterback, good things happen for you.
Yeah,
or
I
bad
agree
things,
with you.
depending which quarterback you are.
While we've got a minute, something else I was thinking about on the way up here, Eunice has got a history of producing some folks that went on to be really good football coaches. You've got that Lynn family, Dave Lynn, Josh Lynn, Jeff Lynn. Jeff's up at Roswell. They've won multiple state championships, back-to-back state championships at Roswell High. He's a former Eunice Cardinal. His brother Jeff is coaching at University of Nebraska, Kearney, and I was at Eastern coaching up there, and their dad, Dave Lynn, he was my football coach there in Eunice, and a heck of a man, and won multiple state championships as both a player and a coach here in Eunice. And so we've also got Steve Dean and Deloyd Landreth that I know of that are former Eunice Cardinals that went on to do some football coaching. So it's definitely good to be a Eunice Cardinal. There's a lot of ties to football. Happy to see these kids out here playing again and get an opportunity to follow in that great Eunice history.
All right, we're getting ready for the kickoff here, and the Bobcats had won the toss, but they had deferred, so the Bobcats will be getting the kickoff, and we still have a problem with them getting the people on the field. Is just we're in a kickoff, and one of their players just runs on the field.
Yeah, I think if Eunice is smart here, they'll just, that's exactly what they should do. Go get it. Now go get it. Oh.
Well, I'm not sure I would have done that, but the ball is recovered by the Bobcats, and they're going to have excellent field position as they're going to take possession of the ball at their own 45-yard line.
When you talk about getting a lucky break, the Bobcats got one right there because that ball landed right at the feet of one of their offensive linemen and bounced right up into his hands.
Yeah, I don't think he realized he was supposed to go after it.
No, I don't think so either. It bounced right into his hands and seemed like he had stickum on it at that point. So The Bobcats will take over from the 45-yard line, 1st and 10.
And the pitch out to the right-hand side here, and he is stopped in the backfield, and that looks to be about a 5-yard loss to start the second half for the Bobcats.
Yeah, George Ortega got in the backfield, made a heck of a play, and made a great tackle there in the backfield to lose about 3, maybe 4. It'll bring up second and about 13-14 for the Bobcats from what looks like about the 41-yard line.
That was a very favorable mark.
Yes.
I tried to be objective, but that was a favorable mark. All right, so 2nd and 14. And, well, it kind of looked like his pass. I'm not exactly sure what that whole thing was for the quarterback as he brought the ball around in the air and then handed it off. But it picked up about 4 yards, and they are back to the original line of scrimmage. So it is 3rd down now, 3rd and 10 to go from the their own 45-yard line.
The
so
quarterback dropped back to pass, and then he did the little wraparound handoff, kind of a trick play, trying to trick folks, and he picked up a few yards on that play.
all right, and they
swung it out here to the left side to number 20. He made a nice one-handed catch, picked up about 5 yards, so it's going to be about 4th and about 6 yards for Hagerman. Ball spotted about the 49-yard line of the Hagerman side of the field. And so Eunice needs a big stop right here to get this second half going in our favor with 10:35 remaining here in the third quarter.
And I want to remind everybody here on the radio station that we've got Hobbs versus Clovis tonight, and we're going to be on the air here at Cool 95.7 starting about 4:45. So Hobbs versus, and there's the snap. He falls back and had his fingers on it, but he wasn't able to do anything with it.
Yeah, Marcus Tercero almost came down with that deflected ball. He really laid out for it, just couldn't quite get a hold of it and bring it in.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyways, but, you know, he was probably better off not getting that one.
Yeah, actually, if he'd have caught it, it'd have been about a 4-yard loss for us in the overall scheme of things. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from about the 49-yard line of Hagerman.
Yep. So that was a 4 and out for them, and we got Dean back in the backfield. He's looking, so he throws it out to the right-hand side or left-hand side, and it goes to, sorry, we're trying to see that. That is Hemmingson, and he picks that up, and he's going to get a first down as I think, what do you get, about 15, 16 yards on that one?
Yeah, it looks like probably started up the middle. He was bouncing and bobbing and weaving. Muhammad Ali as he was bouncing off folks.
About the 18, they say the 18-yard line of the Bobcats. So Dean's back here. He's looking at Dean's going to bring it back up the middle. No, he bounces out to the outside. He's got a block. And he's going to take it down inside the 10-yard line. It looks like he may be down to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, Dean, he ran that little option play right there, and he stuck it in the belly of Tippett. As Tippett went up the middle, the defense collapsed on Tippett, and the next thing you know, Dean jerked that ball out of there and took off around the left side and was able to get around the end and get it all the way down to what looks like about the 1 or 2 yard line and a first down for Eunice.
Yeah, so Dean picks up 15 or 16 on that play. And we'll see what they do. Nope. And they're trying to run it up the middle there,
touchdown.
And it looks like there's a touchdown. It is a touchdown.
Touchdown, Eunice. The handoff to number 9, Micah Tippett. I believe that's his second rushing touchdown of the game.
Yes, it is.
So Eunice now leads 24-7 with 7 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and it looks like they're going to go for 2.
Yep, they just barely used a little over 4 minutes on that. Well, not even 4 minutes on that drive. That was about 2.5 minutes on that drive.
Yeah, that was a good drive right there by the Cardinals. Now we've got Pierce back in at quarterback, and Hayden Dean is out wide to the right with Kason Pearson and Bennett, it looks like.
That's against the pressure, and Pierce goes out. He comes out. Oh, no, and he gets the ball to Benton, is right in his hands, but Benton's not able to hold on to it, and so we have another missed extra point for the Cardinals as they now lead 24-7 with 7:51 left here in the third. We're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute. You're listening to Cool 95.7.
Clear. $30. $10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
We're ready to kick off here again for the Cardinals. And again, not Hobbs, Hagerman's having a hard time getting personnel in the right position here as we get ready for the kickoff. And there's the kickoff. This time it goes a little deeper, and it goes back to one of the linebackers. He's going to pick it up about the 30-yard line. He brings it out to the about to the 40-yard line, so he's going to pick up about 5-6 yards on that play to start this off. We do have a final score for you here today. Is Tatum beat He's out at they say final score, but at halftime, so that game is over. You got to
35-34, Portales 21, Moriarty 0, Piedra Tech 0.
Here for the snap here as he's playing out. So, oh my God, he has got a rush on, and he is down to the 38-yard line. So that is a pickup by the quarterback there for Toronto, as he just is just a straight snap, and he goes up the middle.
Yeah, the center of the Cardinal defense kind of went to sleep right there. A follow-up on some of those scores. Fort Sumner last night, 50-0 over Manal, and Dexter with a 17-2 win over New Mexico Military Institute.
All right, so it's first down from the Cardinals' 37-yard line. He drops back to pass. He's looking over the side. And nice defensive breakup there as get it on 2.
I believe that's Hemmingson. Hemmingson came up and just almost had a pick 6 there because there was nothing but old brown grass between him and the goal line down there. I'd like to say green grass, but that's not green. So,
well, there's a couple patches.
Yeah, he almost had a pick 6 right there and just couldn't quite hang on to it. The Hagerman receiver became the defender and was able to knock it away from him.
All right, 2nd and 10 on the 39-yard line. Let's take that back of the Cardinals. And he's back in shotgun again. So instead of under center, he's been working from shotgun this half. And we're going to have a motion call, it looks like.
That's on the 64 of Hagerman on their offensive line was moving. Just like you said, they've changed this half, and they're trying to go from the shotgun, where in the first half they went under center. And so I've seen that a couple times. Earlier they didn't call it, and then this time they whistled him dead for movement.
Yep. So that's going to make it third down. No, still second down, sorry. 2nd and 15. That pushes it back to the 44-yard line of the Cardinals.
Looks like he's going to try to pass it here.
Well, that's where he went from that draw up the middle, though, last time from this position. So,
There he goes with that same play.
And this
That's
time,
a good call.
This time they're on him, and he's only able to pick up maybe 1 yard on that. And looks like we're going to be going third and about 14 now.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like basically they're not giving him anything.
Right.
Half a yard maybe.
Yeah, so it's going to be third and about 15. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good defensive play there by the Cardinals. Looked like number 42, I believe that's Sammy Monsalve, jumped up there and was able to grab him by the ankles and wait till the other Cardinals could get in there and help him get him down.
And he was doing that same thing in the direct snap and running up the middle. He picked up 23 yards the last time. So you go with what worked, and that worked, and now he's falling back for the pass. He's looking out here to the right-hand side, and he's got his guy, and it's Well, is it intercepted? Yes, it's intercepted. Oh, my goodness.
So Kason Pearson, number 1, went up with the receiver.
Who's got 6 inches on him at least.
I would guess that receiver's probably 6'4" or better, and Kason Pearson's about 5'6", and they both grabbed the ball at the same time, and then they had a tug-of-war with it until Kason Pearson was able to lay down the law and come out with that one.
So that is the first turnover of this half.
That was a great job by Kason Pearson. Way to battle.
Yeah.
So I guess the good thing for the Cardinals is we now have the ball at what looks like about the 12-yard line, I would guess.
Our
First and 10.
Yep. So that was great. I mean, the guy had a lot of height and everything on him, and he jumps up to get a hold on it with him and then wrestles it away. Great play on Pearson. And the ball comes to the handoff left and up the middle there, and looks like he's to the – where's he at? He's at the 20. He's up to the 35-yard line now. So that was a great run by – who's that? Tippett. So Tippett there picks up.
Yeah, number 9, Micah Tippett, broke through the middle and was rumbling, stumbling all the way down to the 35-yard line for a huge pickup for the Cardinals.
That makes it about a 19-yard pickup for Tippett on that.
That was a great play, great run by Micah Tippett. Not only is he a speedster, he's also pretty tough after watching that play.
All right, so Dean's going to roll out to his left. No, he's going to run it. He's got some room. No, he passes it. So he goes thing now, picks it up to that's about an 8-9 yard pickup. And he goes out.
You know, Dean tiptoed the line of scrimmage right there, was able to kind of pass in for a good play, a great pickup.
8 yards, yeah.
Yeah, make it second and about 2 for the Cardinals here on about the 43.5 yard line.
Yeah, their own 40, I agree. About 42, 43 yard line of the Cardinals, and they're driving now, second down and 2 to go.
Still got Dean at quarterback. He hands it to Tippett up the middle.
And Tippett this time, Tippett gets out to, looks like Tippett's going to pick up about 4 yards on that, and it's going to be another first down for the Cardinals.
Looks like they're going to spot it about the 47-yard line, so first down, Micah Tippett straight up the middle. Eunice now leads 24-7 here with 4:17 left in the third quarter, and it kind of looks like they've kind of made some adjustments on offense and got things rolling here.
Okay, well, we definitely they're going to say it turned over. He fumbled it.
Wow, I must have missed that completely.
Yeah, so that's a fumble, so we got a turnover back the other way as Hobbs fumbles the ball. Tippett must have gotten it taken away from the end because I was wondering why they weren't moving the sticks.
Yeah, I completely missed that.
We picked up 5 yards, but turns the ball over. And so now it's back to a pass. Bounces right into one of they're probably the biggest guy on the field's hands, and so we got 5 guys on the Cardinals trying to bring this guy down.
So the young man from Hagerman runs the ball. Somebody from the Cardinals put a helmet right on the ball. The ball must have shot up 20 foot in the air. It landed right in the hands of the biggest young man on the offensive line for the Bobcats, and then he took it for about probably 7 yards.
That reminds me of that one play. Have you ever seen the movie Replacements where one of the linemen gets the tip on the play and goes down and he's got the whole team on him trying to tackle him?
Yeah.
You can't bring him down.
So now it's going to be second and about 3 from exactly the 40-yard line of the Cardinals here, and we need to stop.
And he literally is the biggest guy on the field.
Oh, yeah, that's a large human right there.
And he lines up as a tight end. Okay, nice pass play there, and they get over the middle. Oh, he stopped. Oh, and then he gets away from him. So it was a good pass play there as he picks up 5, 10, 12 yards on that one there.
Yeah, they had him for what would have been probably short of the first down marker, and then the next thing you know, he spun out of that and took off. We've got a flag at the end of the play there.
That's not a good place to have a flag because that's typically on the defense.
Yeah, it looks like they're I'm not sure what that, maybe a personal foul on the Cardinals?
It's hitting or someone is down after the whistle or something, but yeah, when you see a flag in that position, it's almost always on the defense. Yeah, he's gonna walk it off. That's gonna be a big one.
Wow. Yeah, I think he called a personal foul on the Cardinals, so that's big for Hagerman. It's now 7-24, 3:12 remaining here in the third quarter. Hagerman driving deep inside Cardinal territory. It looks like they're down to about the
12-yard line.
Yeah, the 12.
So that penalty was huge. I mean, a good pass and run, but that penalty really made the difference. And get it over the middle there and pass play to it, and that is incomplete for the Bobcats.
Number 14, Sean Stinson, able to break that pass up. Looked like he had a chance almost to pick that play off or pick that pass off, but it bounces in and off of him. And but it was a good defensive play for sure. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 from about the 12-yard line for the Bobcats, driving deep here in Eunice Cardinal territory.
Well, the only time the Bobcats have scored today is when they've gotten good field position from the Cardinals.
Wow, that was a broken play that's gonna. Wow. The quarterback and the running back ran into each other in the backfield. It looked like we were going to have him for a 5-yard loss, and the next thing you know, he broke out and picked up about 8 yards, 9 yards.
And they're so it's now going to be 3rd and 2 from about the 6-yard lines of the Cardinals.
That's what it looks like. Once again, these lines are just not painted very dark. You just can't hardly see them.
Yeah, on the other, especially when it's over to the other side there. So the white doesn't stand out well against the winter grass.
Yep, that's for sure.
And there's the snap. He's looking back to throw and there's a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a touchdown for the Bobcats. I don't see any laundry on the field, so It looks like Bobcats ran a little quick pass to the tight end and scored a touchdown here to make it 13-24 in favor of the Cardinals.
And this is what you don't want to see because with those mixed extra points, it could really come back to haunt. Because if they convert here, they're only going to be down by 10.
Yeah, and this young man, some of the kickers, Eunice.
We blocked it.
We blocked it. The Cardinals blocked it. So that's a good deal for us right there.
Yeah, that keeps it 2 touchdowns now difference. So that extra point was huge.
13-24 in favor of the Eunice Cardinals here with 2:22 remaining in the third quarter.
And we're going to send it back to the studio for 30 seconds. You're listening to Cool 95.7.
Clear. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, welcome back here to Bobcat Stadium as the Bobcats are going to get ready to kick off here to the Cardinals. Want to remind everybody here on Cool 95.7, we'll be bringing you the Hobbs versus Clovis football game tonight. That'll go on the air about 4:45, so not too long after we finish our broadcast here. You'll just be able to stay on and listen to the Hobbs Clovis football game. As we get ready for the kickoff here, we got some. I mean, the thing for the Cardinals, they have got some speed in their receivers down there.
Yeah, and the Bobcats have been able to capitalize on some turnovers from the Cardinals, and that's what's kept this game as close as it is.
And it looks like that ball's going to go to Dean, and he's going to get about the 10-yard line. He's out to the 15. He's out to the 30. Dean is to the 40-yard line. Dean is to the 50-yard line. Dean drops the ball and fumbles it. And it looks like it's going to be recovered by the Bobcats.
Wow.
It is. So Dean takes it all the way to the 44-yard line of the Bobcats, and the ball is stripped out of his arms as he goes by a defender, and the Bobcats recover it. So that is another fumble, and so that is 2 turnovers in this half now for the Bob. In fact, that's almost the same place for the last time.
Yeah. I mean, we turned it over exact same place previously, and so these turnovers, these costly mistakes for Eunice is keeping the Bobcats in this game.
Yep, and the penalties.
Yeah. So it's now 13-24 with 2:12 remaining here in the third quarter. Hagerman takes over 1st and 10 from about the 45.
Last time from this position, they had that 23-yard run up the middle by the quarterback.
Yeah, and then a 15-yard unsportsmanlike.
So they hand it off here, and he's going to pick up probably 7 on the first down here.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Hand off there. So
looks like he's down to about the 49-yard line, so he brings the ball inside Eunice territory.
Yeah, so pickup of 7 here, and they need to stop the Bobcats. It's only 24-13. Those mixed extra points could come back and haunt the Cardinals.
Yeah, we've got to get our head back on straight here.
All right, getting ready for the snap here. Single backfield goes the quarterback, and there's that direct run again. And this time he breaks outside, and they are able to bring him down, but he picked up another 5 yards on that one. So the quarterback, he has a slight delay and then bounces out to the left and picks up 5 yards for the first down.
Yeah, Kason Pearson and Micah Tippett there on the stop, but not before he picks up good yardage and gets a first down for the Bobcats. Now all the way to the 40, about the 41-yard line. And it looks like we've got an official's timeout here on the field. Looks like maybe an equipment issue. Yeah, the Cardinals have got to put some things together and make a stop. I'm sure they need a towel for the football. Something's on the football. There is no telling. Yeah, so they've got the ball.
Bleeding or something?
Yeah, it looks like the center maybe scraped a nail or a hand or something enough to put some blood on the ball.
All right, but the injury timeout, they should be getting this going. Not allowing him to get medicated while he's
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Now they're bringing a different ball they went to get a different ball now, so they are going to continue with a different person at center.
Yeah, there for a minute I thought we were going to take a Roswell Starbucks break and go for coffee or something. I have never seen them completely shut the game down like that.
Yeah, all right, so we're back to action here. First down from about the 41-yard line of the Cardinals.
Yeah, they're telling them to run the clock, and the booth is holding the clock, too.
Yeah, that is not working out well there. Okay, and they break out to the left-hand side here on a handoff, and that is going to go about 5 more yards. And now they've not had much success passing it, so now they're running the ball, and they're having a fair amount of success.
Yeah, Ovi Ontiveros again, number 84 out here with that tackle, but not before they picked up about 5. So the young man that was taken off the field earlier, they've got him taped up, and now he's back in. I believe that's their center. So it'll bring up 2nd and about 5, maybe 6 for the Bobcats. We're on about the 35, 36-yard line.
All right, there's a snap, and he's going to fall back. No, he's going to do the run again. He delays, and this time they catch him.
Now, Ovi Ontiveros with the sack at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, so that's going to be about a 1-yard loss for him.
We had
oh, wow, no, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be more like a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, we had number 70 that got through there, Antonio Granados. He actually hit the quarterback first, and quarterback was able to get away, and then Ontiveros came up and put him down.
And that is the end of the third quarter here as the Cardinals lead the Bobcats 24-13. We're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute. Listen to Cool 95.7.
You're clear. $30. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
And welcome back to Bobcat Stadiums. We've got Steve Mueller and Jimmy Jones here bringing you the broadcast this afternoon as we're about ready to start the fourth quarter with the Cardinals leading 24-13. The ball on their own looks like right inside the 45, so the Cardinal 39. And the Bobcats have the ball after another fumble on the kickoff return.
Yeah, Eunice has just had a couple of really costly turnovers today.
There, they took advantage of the height there. He is
remaining here in the ball game.
all right, you're listening to Cool 95.7 while we're dealing with the injury timeout on the field. We're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute.
Clear. Three, two, one, go.
Well, the good news is he is up off the ground, but he is definitely hanging that left shoulder there, and it definitely appears to be the shoulder, not the arm. And so we're happy the young man is up off the field. They're trying to get him some medical attention.
Yeah, they're asking for the medical staff. It looks like there's about 3 people down there sitting on the ground up against the ambulance using it as a backstop, and they're waving for him to come give some assistance.
Well, here comes the looks like a deputy sheriff and maybe EMT there coming to help him. But
maybe you can put him in some handcuffs, I guess, the deputy sheriff. All right, so it's now 20-30 with 11:36 remaining here in the ball game. Eunice is about to kick off again.
And we'll see what's going to happen there. Is the way he's feeling it definitely looks like it's dislocated. That he's pulled that arm, he's pulled the shoulder out. Had that happen, and I feel for that young man.
Yeah, I broke a few collarbones and dislocated a few myself, so that's a bad day for sure, right there. A lot of times, though, if that's what it is, they can. If you trust them, you can rotate it back in.
Yeah, but it hurts to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Been there, had that happen. Finally, yeah, and that's a 25-yard line, and they're going to bring it back out to about the 33, 34-yard line.
Ovian Taveros in there on the tackle on that play. Got up limping a little bit.
Yep, so we need, so the Cardinals need a stop here.
Yeah, we've got to get a little momentum going. I mean, even a victory at this point and 10 for the Bobcats from about the 33, 34-yard line.
And 11:30 left in the game, and another one on the ground. He's gonna get some pressure. He's gonna go down deep, and so they missed that pass there as his receiver got turned around on him after the snap was on the ground.
Yeah, it looked like he just overthrew his receiver. We had a good defensive play there by Stinson. He was right there with him.
Yeah, actually, I think Stinson had a better chance to catch that one than his receiver did.
Yeah.
But he had position, so that was the best part.
Yeah, so it'll bring up 2nd and 10. And like I said, it looks like they're about the 33, 34-yard line.
Yeah, he gives you a different thing because he looked like he was going to fall back, and then he brings that ball down, and he has picked up some. I think the quarterback may be the leading gainer for the Bobcat team today.
Yeah, I agree. Here he goes with that quarterback draw.
This time, though, they keep him deep, and he's going to pick up maybe 2 or 3 on that one.
Looked like Marcus Tercero there with that tackle. He came up and put the helmet on him, and they still got about 4. Looks like about 4, maybe 4.5 yards. So they're spotting it at about the 39-yard line.
39-yard line of the Bobcats, and third to make it 3rd and 6 here with 10:50 left here in the game.
It's an important play for the Cardinals here. Yes. If they could get a stop right here, it would be big for them.
We're almost for the Bobcats 4-down territory even here. So there's a handoff, and he is going nowhere. He's actually going to lose 3 yards on that play. So he's going to take him back to, they're going to mark him up to the 35-yard, 36-yard line, but that's going to be a loss of 3 yards on the play, and 4th down, 4th and 7.
Ovi Ontiveros looked like he crawled under the defensive lineman's legs and was able to grab the running back by the ankles and kind of hold him and stand him up until the rest of the defense was able to get in there and finish him off. And so Vance Hemingston coming in there to finish him off there at the end. And it looks like Hagerman is in a punt formation here with 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, oh, well, he gets on it, but maybe the 15-yard line, so they're going to have possession deep in their own territory, as that was a line drive that went over Dean's head, and he picked it up about the 10.
Yeah,
Hayden it up to the 15.
Hayden was running behind that ball as it was skipping down the field, and I think he was expecting it to finally skip up off the ground so he could scoop it up and run, and it just continued to roll right across the ground and rolled for quite some time before he was able to get his hands on it.
Great punt.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great punt there. Gives backs the Cardinals up, but let's see if we can keep that momentum going from the last offensive series here. Looks like we've got Dean back in the backfield as the quarterback.
No, that's Pierce.
Oh, no,
there.
yeah, it is Pierce. They've switched it out.
And a little underarm thing there, but it looks like that's going to actually be for a loss there. So Pierce passes it out, but it looks like they actually got dropped for a loss.
I think he passed it out to T.J. Martinez, and you're right. It was it looked like a busted play. He just kind of flipped it out there. And so it was a completed pass, but a loss of about 5 yards on the play, 4 or 5. Looks like they're all the way back now to about the 12? Yeah, about the 12-yard line.
That's not the, oh my God, that is not the way you want to be going.
Throw it.
Oh, and he's almost brought down, and then it goes off to the right, and this could be off to the races again as the 12-yard line. So he is almost tackled for a loss, is able to shake out of it, and completes the pass, and that pass is going to go up to, looks like the 44-yard line of the Cardinals. So that's going to be a 32-yard pickup.
Yeah, they had him wrapped up at about the 5-yard line, and he was able to shake him loose, get it free to Cason Pearson, and Pearson put on a run there to give us a first down.
Yeah, looks like a 33-yard pickup on it. Now it's out to the right side, and so they're going to same thing. Oh, we're going to hit a hold there.
Hold out here. Left side on
those 2 penalties have mounted for 25 yards.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So now
personal foul, and now this one.
Yeah, so here we are with 1st and 20 from what looks like about the 45-yard line, and there's a pass, and we've got a man wide open.
Oh, and overthrows him by a yard.
Oh,
I mean, there was nobody even close to him if he comes down with that one.
Yeah, I can't tell whether that's Tippett or whether that's George Ortega. They're 9 and the 8.
It looks like Tippett there.
Okay, so he had his man beat by probably 15 yards.
Yes. Yeah, they had definitely. Well, I think what it was is because they had a defender rush in there, so.
Yeah, whatever it was, he was 15 yards behind the closest defender.
All right, now 2nd and 20. This time he brings it out to Dean, and Dean bobbles the ball up in the air and can't hold on to it. So that ball drops incomplete.
Looked like as Pierce let that ball go, the defensive end got just a tip on it, a fingertip, and that was enough to throw Dean's concentration off, and then he bobbled it, and by the time he was able to almost get his hands on it, the defense was there. So Eunice has called a timeout here with 8:34 remaining in the game. Eunice is up 20-30.
All right, we're going to send it back to the studio for 30 seconds. You're listening to Cool 95.7.
Clear. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, welcome back to the stadium here. 30-20 in favor of the Cardinals. 8:34 left in the game, and the Cardinals, after getting that huge pass reception, now have marched themselves backwards. So it's 3rd and 20, and that 3rd and 20 is from about their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to pick up with the ball here, 3rd and a long ways.
All right, Pearson in the backfield again. And he rolls out, and he tries to get off his back foot, and that ball is knocked down, incomplete. And Pierce not able to, so they're going to have to 4th down here now. So now it's going to be 4th down for the Cardinals from their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, we started off with some really good momentum right there, and those last few plays we went the wrong direction.
Yeah, the hold really turned things around there, because that would have been a 1st down. Instead of going for a 1st down, it ends up going for a -10.
Yeah, and this game has just been a game of momentum, and it seems like every time you think you have the momentum, it swings and goes back the other way.
Yep. So they're going to punt the ball.
Yeah, we've got Benton back to punt.
And not much punt, but it's got over his head, and so we're getting a bit of a Cardinal bounce, and so that ball is going to go out of bounds at about the 30, well, they're saying the 35-yard line of the Bobcats. So 8:19 left in the game, and the Cardinals are leading 30-20. Let's send it back. Oh, no, let's hear about the sponsors making this all possible.
Yeah, we'd like to make sure we thank our sponsors, Parker Energy, Brett and Penny Parker, Eunice Health Clinic, Leanne Reese, thank you guys. Becky Nogelmeyer and staff, Zia Otto, the Whitmire family, thank you guys for all you do. Without you, we would not be able to bring these games to you. So thank you so much. Looks like Hagerman's going to have the ball here at about the 35, 36-yard line, 1st and 10, with 8:19 remaining in the game.
And Bobcats do have all their timeouts. Here's a right-hand side, and he's going to get dropped.
As that runner cut back on the field, and Martinez is going to be down, and he's got coaching staff tending to him.
All right, so we have another injury timeout here on the field. This time we've got a Cardinal on the field, and we're going to send it back to the studio for 1 minute.
Clear. $30. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, we're back on the field of play, and while we were out there and that, they got the but there's a run on the play there for the Bobcats. And again, they ran a really long ways, but they looks like they lost a yard and maybe back to the original yard of scrimmage because it's now back to the 35-yard line for the Bobcats. So they've run 3 plays and
Jonathan,
0 yards.
Yeah, Jonathan Caballero come up and made that stop there, and so once again, it looks like it's about 3rd and about 10 to go.
And that was on the reverse, and it did not work out well.
And they're at the 35-yard line, and here they come around this side. He bobbled the ball. It looks like we've got a hold here on the defense. They look like they had a hold here on the defensive end on this side.
Yeah, they definitely got a flag there, and you see it in the backfield. It's never a good thing for the offense.
Yeah.
And they stopped him for no gain, so do you take the penalty and force him back, give another option? Or do you force them to punt, or do they punt from here? What would you do?
Yeah, I think if it's me, I'd take the penalty. It's a personal foul, helmet to helmet. So I'd definitely take that penalty.
Yeah, we'll take. Oh, wait a second. Is the coach saying no? They spun it off. The coach said no.
Well, it's 4th down. If he declines it, 4th and 10. If he takes it, it's 25. So anyway, he's decided not to take it. It's going to make it 4th and 10 from about the 35-yard line. We've got Hayden Dean back deep. And looks like Eunice is going to get the ball again here with 6:56 remaining in the 4th quarter.
So it's actually going to be 4th and about 13 because they lost yardage on that play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to field it. All right. So even make it. The punt doesn't even make it back to the original line of scrimmage, and so the Cardinals are going to take over at about the 44-yard line of the Bobcats with 6:44 in the game and leading 30-20.
Yeah, we got a hand on it right there as he punted it. So the punt traveled about 30 yards, about 25 yards, but anyway, it got back to about the initial what would have been the first down marker.
Yep. So first down for the Cardinals at the 44-yard line of. Oh, and they'll drop it out to the side, and he's going to pick it up. There's the 30, the 35. He's down to the 25-yard line, and he's almost. And it looks like he's pulling his shoe off. And Dean picks that a little slide line pass, and that's going to be down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I couldn't. I believe that's going to be George Ortega out there. He was doing a one-leg little spin move out there. Almost looked like an ice skater when they were holding onto his other leg.
Well, so Ortega picks up 20 yards on that play.
Yeah, so now 6:23 remaining in the game. Eunice driving. That should be a flag. There it is, and Dean is going to get in the end zone.
Oh.
So the flag, there's a flag on the play, but I believe it's going to be too many men on the field on the defense because they were running 2 or 3 guys off, and they didn't make it.
And they didn't whistle the play dead, so Dean may get it the touchdown.
Yeah.
Dean gets the touchdown.
Yeah, I believe that it's going to be too many men on the field for the Bobcats, and so I'm sure that Eunice is going to decline that.
Dean go in for a 20-yard rushing touchdown.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to decline it. I can't understand why you're going to turn a touchdown down.
So that makes it 20-36 here. Eunice up by 16 with 6 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. And just from the looks of things, it looks like
Dean
multiple
rolls out,
times.
And for the first time,
that's a great pass by Dean, and then that's number 10, which is
turnover, but they stop, and they went right on in, and the Bobcats were their own worst enemy.
A lot of mistakes. Punt, snap, or whether it be the turnovers that we've had down 15 points with 6 minutes and seconds.
Well, and for the nice
down here.
Want to remind everybody that
Start this drive at about the 40, looks like about the 42, maybe 43 yard line, depending on where the
start about 4:45 here on Cool 95.7. So 6 minutes 11 left in the game. Cardinals leading 38-20.
Will that be Ty Friend doing that game?
That will definitely be Ty Friend doing
Ty
that game.
Friend will be handling the gavel in that game.
Direct run. He was going to pass, but he bobbled the snap, and fortunately he's able to recover it and pick it up and get about a 6 yard, 5 yard on the play. And for him, that is not what they wanted. He was looking to get it, but when he bobbled the snap, they do not want runs when you're down by 18 points with 5. I don't know the down marker, but he's actually.
So third and about 9, maybe 10.
Yep.
From about the what looks like about the 43.
And with the Bobcats' problem getting players on the
in the fourth quarter, it's Eunice 38, Hagerman 20. The war and the ball ended up on the ground.
Well, Dean lost, but the important thing is the clock is running, so those plays are still eating up clock, and Hagerman's going to have to call a timeout soon because the clock is working against him.
Oh.
Well, Dean threw that one in the ground.
Yeah, I believe at this point Hagerman's going to be happy with keeping this loss as close as they can. What down to those